Before the rise of fast food, restaurants operated on a non-industrial model for producing food. Meals were prepared individually by skilled cooks, often using fresh ingredients and recipes that varied by restaurant or even region. Food preparation took time. Menus could be changed, and the quality of the meal depended heavily on the expertise of the cook making it. Before industrial food systems took hold, restaurants functioned more like skilled trades rather than industries, relying on trained labor, localized menus, and slower production rather than efficiency or scale. But this was all about to change.
In the mid-20th century, fast food chains introduced industrial production techniques to their restaurants. In 1948, the McDonald brothers developed the Speedy Service System, which reorganized the kitchens to resemble assembly lines in factories. The food preparation was broken down into simple, repetitive steps, with machines and specialized tools used to maximize speed and consistency. Grills, fryers, timers, and portioning devices replaced traditional cooking methods, allowing meals to be produced rapidly and in large quantities. Fast food became part of a larger system in which corporations controlled every stage of food production. From the machines used to harvest crops, to fertilizers and pesticides, to processing, packaging, and distribution, this marked the beginning of McDonaldization of food production, where efficiency, calculability, predictability, and control became the guiding principles of how food was made and sold. This control allowed for food to be produced cheaply, uniformly, and on a massive scale.
As food preparation became mechanized, workers no longer needed extensive training or culinary skills. Instead, each employee was responsible for a single task, such as flipping burgers or operating a fryer. These methods mirrored factory labor during the Industrial Revolution, where workers were treated as interchangeable parts within a larger system. Fast food companies benefited from the model because it reduced labor costs and made expansion easier, as new employees could be quickly trained and replaced without disrupting the business and production flow.
Due to the rapid changes in food production, the nature of food itself has undergone significant transformations. Meals were no longer unique or locally influenced. They became standardized commodities. Every burger, fry, or milkshake was designed to look and taste the same at every location. This standardization made fast food predictable and affordable. Food was transformed from a personal handmade product into a mass-produced good, creating a shift in how people consume meals. To maintain control over food production, companies kept meat prices low, offered vegetables year-round, and ensured that the same products were available across regions. This made it possible for customers to purchase large quantities of food at any time, creating the illusion of choice while limiting consumers to uniform, corporate-controlled options.
But that's not all. Enter into the picture Ray Kroc. In 1954, he visited a hamburger restaurant in San Bernardino, California. Owned by Richard and Maurice McDonald, impressed with the efficiency of the kitchen, Ray convinced the McDonald family to hire him so that he could help them grow. Ray Kroc accelerated the industrialization of fast food by transforming McDonald's into a tightly controlled franchising system. While he did not invent fast food, Kroc recognized that efficiency, uniformity, and strict oversight could be scaled nationwide. He believed that control over every aspect of production was essential, stating, "If you run your business the right way, the money takes care of itself." This philosophy justified a system in which identical restaurant layouts, standardized procedures, and centralized corporate rules limited local decision-making. Under Kroc's leadership, McDonald's expanded rapidly through franchising while maintaining strict corporate oversight. Kroc personally inspected restaurants to ensure consistency, reinforcing a top-down structure where predictability and speed outweighed creativity or worker autonomy. He openly resisted government regulation and labor protections, viewing them as obstacles to efficiency and expansion. This mindset helped solidify a labor system built around low wages, minimal training, and replaceable workers.
While fast food was loved by consumers, not everybody had the same reaction. Nutritionists reacted with health concerns, small businesses reacted with resistance as their relevance was threatened, and labor activists feared their specialization in the food industry would dwindle.
Fast food changed Americans' diets, not just their eating habits. By the 1950s to 1960s, nutritionists began to warn the public of high saturated fats, excess salt, and sugar-heavy desserts and drinks that fast food encouraged the public to eat. This worsened as fast food became less a treat and more a frequent calorie-dense meal.
Beyond health concerns, fast food may have increased food production and consistency, but worker autonomy and wages plummeted. This is evident in the application of assembly line kitchens, where tasks become less specialized and more repetitive, requiring less training. Consequently, if the workers require less training, workers become more replaceable. This de-skilled upward mobility in businesses, as young workers occupied most job openings with low wages and very little job security. These new job conditions were labeled as McJobs by sociologists and labor critics in the 1960s and 1970s. The same people argue that corporations gained power while workers lost bargaining leverage. This is seen through the multiple unsuccessful unionization attempts, a famous one being the Detroit fast food unionization, where McDonald's and Burger King stores in Detroit began organizing for better wages and benefits. Unfortunately, at one Burger King store, workers faced extreme countermeasures from corporate management as the store was sold, and the National Labor Requirements Board sided with the corporation.
And last but not least, small businesses were frightened of fast food. Post-1950 suburban expansion favored chain restaurants near highways. Likewise, many small entrepreneurs began to worry about their businesses as big corporations began to expand their stores in every local economy. These corporations bought in bulk, making their prices more favorable to the consumer, as smaller businesses couldn't match prices. Critics noticed this and warned that fast food drained money from local communities into national corporations. Beyond prices, corporations heavily advertised and built large franchises, catching the public eye. This led to multiple family diners and family-owned restaurants losing customers, as seen through the decline of many independent restaurants in areas saturated with franchises. This shift reached agriculture as well. Over time, the numbers of farms declined while the amount of farmland controlled by large operations increased, signaling the loss of the American family farm and its replacement with an industrial, large-scale agricultural system.
The fast food industry was under pressure, and if changes weren't made, the industry would have fallen irrelevant just as fast as it rose to the public eye. Faced with the criticism concerning health, labor practices, and cultural dominance, fast food corporations didn't abandon their efficiency. They rebranded, diversified, and globalized to protect their dominance and remain relevant. Rather than addressing the core problems within food production and labor systems, corporations adjusted their strategies to preserve efficiency while reducing public backlash.
With the constant onslaught of nutritionists badging fast food as promoting unhealthy diets, fast food corporations had to respond. Without changing the system, corporations changed the perception. The menu expanded, now including a variety of healthy options including salads, grilled items, smaller portions, nutritional information appearing everywhere, and advertising shifting from indulgence to choice and balance. It's up to the customer if they want to eat healthy. They made it compatible with a healthy lifestyle.
With health out of the way, corporations still face criticism concerning their labor practices. Instead of progressing, fast food changed defensively, maintaining its lower wages and replaceability. McJobs now includes first job narratives with the addition of youth employment opportunities and management and training programs. Not only that, automation was introduced to the kitchen so that labor dependency decreased. And, the cherry on top, advertising shifted the public's focus on the responsibility of labor practices away from corporations and onto the management system. Rather than empowering workers, reform protected corporate efficiency.
Outside of the fast food restaurants, a big public concern was harm to local businesses. Corporations responded by adapting locally while continuing to expand globally. By the late 20th century, chains expanded internationally. With each new location, the menu adjusted to local tastes and embraced cultural restrictions and regional flavors. Additionally, advertising focused on fostering familiarity and cultural respect. This shifted the public's attention from the control these corporations exerted on local economies to the responsiveness to cultural independence. Local businesses continue to suffer as they become irrelevant. Corporations didn't change to save independent businesses. They changed to maintain control while distracting the public.
The fast food revolution changed the world's diet, how corporations hold on to the economy's pocket, and the industrial revolution within the kitchen. While the public embraced it and loved its affordability and speed, many faced a harsh reality. While corporations may have not fully solved the problems critics brought awareness of, they managed to adapt their menus, image, and global reach while appearing positive in front of the public eye.